Cactus crew. How you guys going? Hope you're going well. Katie is currently covering a mother that unalived her children, and Katie has no empathy. She has no empathy for mental illness. Katie is so narrow-minded that she can't even put herself in this lady's shoes, being a mother herself. On Naked Dinah's podcast, her friends from Patios, I've already done the other episode that she did in August 2018, and this one is December 11, 2018, where she's talking about Andrea Yates, who unalived her 5 children, and Katie understood and also said something a little bit scary. So I'm just going to play it.
The hormones that you go through and the changes to your body after you give birth, I mean, especially if you're still breastfeeding, it can go on for a couple years. So, you know, it's scary. And so I'm like, I'm putting together this piece and I'm like, it's clear, like she loved these kids. So something had to happen, you know, but everyone else, like Nancy Grace, is like, oh,
I don't know if it's necessarily true to say that something had to happen, though. I mean, that could
Yeah.
well, somebody posted a screenshot of something from somebody else where they were like, you know, I grew up religious and I thought I was done with it and I blah, blah, blah. And I got into Satanism. I thought that was awesome. And then I felt empty again. And then I got back into religion and I thought that was great. And that's definitely the thing for me and blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, that is bipolar too. You're just going through phases and finding random shit. We have to address that, like, you know, these people are having these mood swings and there's not necessarily a logical progression to it. Like it is chemical and emotional.
That's why I asked what she was like before the childbirth.
Yeah.
And just, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, she seemed super happy, ecstatic almost, you know, and she posted like pictures of the twins when they were born, and she had all these pictures of them together and pictures of her holding them. And, you know, like this summer she posted photos of them going to the fair and to parks and to, you know, all these events with the kids. And she has 3 other children that she's doing stuff with. So, you know.
Well, but some of that also gets into kind of the social media issue of
like, you know, what are you projecting?
Yeah,
right?
What are you projecting and putting that best face forward, and how stressful that can be, especially for somebody who has a depressive disorder.
Correct.
You know, I will say something from what Katie mentioned about this woman's Facebook stats about not feeling, you know, useful or feeling worthless. I mean, when people say that to you, that is the call to action right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You cannot wait. You have to act right then and there, because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. So if your friend, if your significant other, if your child starts saying stuff like that, well, guess what? You have a choice of either making things worse or to actually try to get involved and do harm reduction to help the other person, to get them into services, to do whatever. But that is the hinge moment right there.
With postpartum stuff specifically, I mean, psychosis happens, you know, and the witnesses talked about her seeming utterly dazed, like just not even there, you know, like almost like she said, I almost found my babies, like almost like she didn't even realize she did it.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like, and so, you know, the mass media is going to launch onto this and call her a murderer. And yes, she her children, but at the same time, like, what happened? We don't even know what happened. And it's,
you know, interestingly enough, we just rewatched A Beautiful Mind the other night.
Yeah.
And there was that scene where because he was schizophrenic, and he was adjusting the curtains or whatever, and the kid was in the tub, and the tub was filling up, and the kid was going to drown, and he was just like, "No, it's fine. My friend is watching him." Like, you don't really know what's going on in their head. In that kind of moment.
And so it's like, did she know she was doing it? Did she not? Like in the photo that they took of her in the at the, like, her mugshot she looks very different than she looks in the photos on Facebook. She looks withdrawn. She looks like she's not there. Sure. And, you know, it's, you know, as a mother that went through postpartum depression and anxiety, it's hard for me not to be like, oh my God, because when I had my son, I distinctly remember, you know, when he was really little, being so scared that I was going to hurt him because of like these weird emotions that were inside of me, you know. And if you don't have a good support network and you don't have the right people to talk to, you know, and it sounds like this person is religious and, you know, it's who knows what their mindset is about mental health and
yeah, what's your mindset about mental health? Because now, present day, 2024, it's completely opposite. You've shown a mother who has done the exact same thing, no grace, no understanding. You have deemed her, that's you, Katie. Just like you said when my son was really young. We know what you did to your son at 3 months old. He did not have an adrenal crisis. Something brought that on. What was it, Katie? What was it? You're the one that doesn't have patience. You're the one that prioritizes your vices. You're the one that won't go and get sober and do the hard yakka and get well for your son. You are the one that never prioritizes your son. You don't care. If you cared, you wouldn't be making up lies, exaggerating absolute bull. How do I know? Because, Katie, I care. I care about your son and I looked into it. And also, similar disorders over here because born prem, which you just totally disregarded. You couldn't give two shits about your son. The only time you do is when you need to use him as a shield. I have said this since day dot. You are your son's biggest disability. You are keeping him isolated because, Katie, you might have been non-verbal for a while, but now he's verbal and he's actually smarter than you. Also, he's going to eventually tell people about his home life. Are you scared? You should be. He's going to tell everyone about the animals that are kept inside 24/7. He's going to tell everyone that his mum drinks every single night in her drinking chair and talks loudly about CSA details. So loud that obviously V can hear it. No regard for her son or what she's doing by raising him on an iPad. He's been screen fed since he was 6 months old. He's also been kept in the house too long. Then he's missed out on crucial socialization. He's missed out on stimuli from his own parents. 5 years he was neglected. Katie might have had postpartum depression, but she didn't go seek no help. She wrote about it. We'll link all their details down below and links to this episode and, you know, just all the info in the description box, also in the pinned comment. Jack brings up that the warning signs, like if someone says that, that is your cue. And I've read Katie's articles and it's Dear Diary. It's awful. It's a woman drowning with no help, but then her ego won't let her admit her weakness, you know? Katie, got anything to say? Why are you so wishy-washy? Why are you a leaf? Why do you flip-flop? Why can't you see the mental illness side? Please share this video, give it a like, consider subscribing, and yeah, leave a comment. I want to know what you think. Take care out there, Cactus Crew.